So here's an update to my control panel for the Crossfire Pro plasma table. I've had a few requests to make a video on the process and how the buttons work and things like that. So this is my new control panel. This one has not been installed yet. Basically it has these buttons here. These are all backlit with LED lights. And your basic jog buttons here. This is for the laser on and off. This is a latching button. These other ones are momentary buttons. And then down here you can start the program, pause the program, and then I have a fan on my system for ventilation so I can turn on the fan. This is the pump to fill up the water tank and then drain it also. This here is I'm going to use this for the main power to turn on my control box on the cutter itself. The reason why is my control box is mounted up against the wall, and it's kind of a pain to go over there and switch it on and off. So now I can just turn it on and off from the front of the machine and not have to go over there and mess with the box. This is basically what the new one's going to look like. These other ones, the Z here this will allow me to zero out all the axes, and so once I get where I need to be, I can just zero it from here. The J is the jog. It does the steps. I don't find it very useful, but they had it on there, so I put it. And then the A is an auxiliary, just an extra button. At some point, I think Langmuir will probably release more shortcut keys, and once they do, then I can map to that and just have an extra one. The thing with this control panel is now that they've come out with a new table, I've got one on order, so I don't know how much more time I'll put into this table. I've already got it sold to an individual who's going to pick it up as soon as my other one shows up. But this is basically what the panel looks like, and it will go on the front of the two bars. This is the rear of it. Had another guy did the wiring for me. As you can see, there's a lot going on back here with the wiring. So it's going to take quite a while to get this steel from this point wired up to the table. Basically, it'll slide on the front of the machine there on the two bars. Next thing I did is updated my torch mount with the lasers. Here's basically the parts. It's got a slide that slides on and off, and then these two parts here will go together like that, and then it has the 3 holes for the lasers, and then the brass nuts so that you can assemble the unit. And then at the top there's a small hole here for your wire. So it's basically what this looks like. Not much to it. And then the assembled part will look like this. And then the 3 lasers. So these 2 are straight line lasers. This third one is a double line. I like the double line on there quite a bit. It makes it a lot quicker when you're lining up material on the front edge. If I ever get this installed and another video made, I'll show you why I like the double front line. That's basically what the unit looks like. Got just a connector here for the power. This one, those. And again, the press-in nuts there. And then that mounts onto here like that, and it tightens up against the torch, and then you can slide it on and off. As for why there's these other holes on the side here, I put them on both sides, and eventually what I'm going to do is, well, I don't know if I'm going to do it now, but I had an attachment like this that I was designing that is going to go on the side here, and so you can put it on either side, and then on that it goes like this, and then off of that is going to be this hose here for the water to go around to squirt down there. If you cut in thin metal, it works pretty well to keep it cool. So that was the plan. I have another one now that removes this valve, and that just snaps on there. So there's been a couple of changes. Initially I was going to go with this design here, which basically will go around the torch, and then it has all the water injectors there, so it does a spray all the way around it. Kind of lost interest in that, and didn't really I did some testing with it, but never really finished the design on it. Other than that, Another thing I was going to put on the side here is thing for a Sharpie to kick the Sharpie up and down, so you can do put on your material and do cut lines or whatever you want with a Sharpie. I got part of the way done on that, and then again lost interest in it, so I don't think that'll ever be finished, especially now that the new table's coming out. A lot of these parts this will be the end of my design on them. One of the other things I did come out with that I don't know if I did a video or not is this basically replaces this other plate here, and what that allows you to do is the magnetic mount. And then what the idea was that you can turn it at 45-degree angle and put your torch at 45-degree angle. It worked all right. I made a prototype. It did okay. The problem is with it turned it to 45, the hose for the cutter puts a lot of pressure on here, and it wants to keep turning it, and so it needs some either some balls in here to lock it on or pins or something. But again, I kind of lost interest in it. This is just one of the prototypes. I had one that was working and it worked pretty well, but and then one of the other things that someone wanted is another mount. So this is similar to the other one. You got your 3 lasers down here. This mounts onto, if you already have the machine torch mount from Langmuir, this will slide in here. You put the bolts through here and it slides on the bottom, and it already has the water jacket built into it. So basically you just can take that blue hose, clip it on there, and it comes off the side, and then you just run another hose up here to your pump wherever you're getting your water from. But this basically same design. Got your 3 lasers, and then that slot there is for your power connector on there. Little smaller design, slims it down a little bit. Worked pretty well. As far as the controller that I use, I went with this one here. It's a game controller. The back of it, that's the company here. They make different versions of it. That's one version, and there's another version. It's slightly different version of it. And if I can get it out of there. So this is the other version. This one here has a USB plug on it right here that you can plug into. The reason I like this one for my setup is it has 2 power outputs right here, which is 5 volts, which will run the lasers. So I can pull the power right off of this and not have to run another one. This other board here, what's nice about this is it has the USB off the side here with a cable. And on that cable has one of these little, I don't know what they call them, thing there. And what that allows me to do is I also make these pendants. Here's just one I was messing with, a prototype of one. Here's another one that's, so it's not assembled. It's got magnets on the back, and then the box is just made so that it just snaps together. This is what it looks like here, and this one's nice for this one, so that you can run the wire out the bottom and then seal it up, and you can make it watertight if you wanted to. But these are nice to have because I can just stick it to the front of the table and then pull it off, and it's ready to go. And then I can move it around with me as I need to. So it just depends on, there's different designs. This one, because that board doesn't have the power output, you're not able to run the laser out of this. So it's just a different option if you want the laser or not. That's why I went with that one. And I think that's about it for what I'm doing right now. Once I get this board, or once I get this installed, I may do another video to show when this is done, how it looks and how it works. One of the other things I need to do is I need to design a box for this. It's going to be similar to this, that goes on contains this, so that it goes on the side of the machine somewhere. Or before, in the past, what I've done is wired it on here and then shoved this down into the rail. So I may do that, but not sure yet. But there you have it. That's basically how the setup for the system. And maybe in the next week or two I'll get around to installing this. It is a big process to get it installed and wire everything. Some of these I'm going to have to run relays off of, so I still need to wire a bunch of relays to run some of my other things. But until I get installed, that'll be it for the videos.